Bionic Commando. Nathan Rad Spencer, that bionic arm. The NES had some great games, and this one was no exception. Capcom was a juggernaut for NES games, and Bionic Commando is firmly ingrained into the minds of fans all around. Of course, Capcom always struggled with their franchises in some forms, either putting out too many games or too little, as is the case here. The franchise saw a Game Boy port, a sequel on the Game Boy Color, and then that was about it for several years. 2008, Capcom got developers Grin onto the scene, asking them to make some games that would appeal to the fans of the franchise. The results started very well, with Bionic Commando Rearmed, a full-on 3D-ified remake of the original NES game, featuring the standard familiar gameplay, new lighting, and of course, a rockin' soundtrack. Of course, Grin had other plans as well, as Rearmed with both a solid retelling and a sort of reminder to prepare players for their next step. Bionic Commando. Bionic Commando was released a year after, and tells a new story while giving players a fresh set of monkey bars, if you know what I'm saying. Nathan is back in action, though he doesn't look the part too much, though that makes sense given the story. It has been 10 years since Nathan saved the day and stopped the Imperials, i.e. Hitler, from finishing a secret weapon called the Albatross. In those 10 years, Nathan was a hero that he wasn't, then all bionics needed to be destroyed, and Nathan was sentenced to death. Of course, this was cut short when a terrorist group called BioRain attacks Ascension City, plunging it into disarray and radiation. Nathan is retrieved and told to go there and stop them. Of course, he's not too privy to help the man that got him arrested. Super Joe is our commanding officer, from Rearmed, and the former mate, who only persuades Spencer to take on this mission because he has knowledge of the whereabouts to Spencer's missing wife, Emily. Nathan is launched into Ascension City, rearmed, hey, get it? With his old bionics, and sets off into combat. From this point, most of the story will actually be told through hackable stuff, where you can learn about BioRain and some secret knowledge that they have on Spencer and his good old Federation. Along the way, you'll meet with some familiar faces, whether they come from Rearmed or from this game's eternal story, such as Jane Magdalene, a former bionic partner hinted at in the beginning. The game proceeds as such, even with an early portion where Spencer has to retrieve a secret weapon. Eventually, we reach the conclusions where we learn that good old Joe wasn't so good old at all, actually being the leader of the BioRain organization, only wanting that secret weapon so it could be completed and activated. We also learn the truth behind Emily's disappearance, which I'm not going to spoil because fuck that. That is the dumbest twist ever. Fuck.
What even happened?
Alright, so the story is a bit bad, but the gameplay is that perfect mix of impressive and aggravating. Nathan Spencer is packing with that awesome bionic arm, and a handgun for some security. Not that you'll really need to use the gun, because your bionics are a weapon themselves. Beyond swinging about, you can get up close and give them a good wallop, you can uppercut them, followed up with a jump and a punch into another enemy, you can swing stuff at them, you can swing the corpses of their fellow soldiers at them, and, most enjoyably, you can propel yourself foot first into someone else's torso and watch them gaily rocket away. Weapon-wise, the handgun is always on you. You have grenades, and you have a short-living primary in the forms of a shotgun, sniper rifle, chain gun, and even a rocket launcher. I say short-lived because the ammo for these weapons are scarce, so it's gonna take precision or ignorance. And really, this bionic kick shit is just way too fun.
Sucks to be you!
Of course, combat can be finicky, and for some, it'll be unimpressive. Bionic Commando eschews even the health bar system introduced in Rearmed, deciding on regenerating health. This means quite a few times hiding behind cover, waiting to remove the red paint that's now covering your screen. Still, it is functional, and popping heads like I do is just so satisfying, even if you have to recover health. And of course, why have a grappling hook if you don't use it? Bionic Commando's levels are long and usually pretty open for the fun of just swinging around and trying to maximize your height and speed. Sometimes the level design isn't really able to offer it, but in the right places, the swing can be integrated into your combat to provide the necessary kill from behind. Mastering that grappling hook is also key. There are a huge number of collectibles, mostly nods to the old NES titles with their design, and there will be a lot of swinging to do to get these. Across 2 runs, I have struggled at all times to get them, and at this rate, I may never get them all. At the least, the game looks decent. The game was built on the Diesel engine, a grain-made engine that's been powering their game since Ballistics in 2001. Honestly, it looks decent, though the constant cityscapes versus the forested terrain won't blow you away. There's also a shitload of advertising, like what even? You've got Alienware, Nvidia, Pepsi? Sorry guys, I'm Nathan Spencer, I don't have time for this stuff. Maybe we need a Bionic Pepsi Man. To be fair though, I would be lying if I came out of this review saying that Bionic Commando is a bad game. Really, that's not even the case. If you get past the silly story and ignore the collectibles that could have you pulling your hair out, the results are a very modest and enjoyable game with some decent gunplay and an overall excellent idea. It's not perfect, obviously. If I wanted to complain a big complaint, I'd complain about the less than accurate physics behind that swinging. Good luck gathering any more speed than a car on the freeway. Ultimately, this game was fun, and I don't think it hurts for anyone to pick up and play a little bit of. It's been 7 years though, and we haven't seen much more besides a direct sequel to Rearmed. Not even by the same developers, since Grin closed their doors in 2009, ironically the same year that this game was released. I won't say it's terrible, but if you're a fan of Bionic Commando, you might be a little disappointed at the end. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you like this video, you know the button to press. You also know the other one for the other opinion that I don't care. Drop a comment if you're a classic OG Bionic boy yourself. Subscribe for some more content like this. I try to post at least once a month at this point. And of course, hit me up on those feeds down there. I'm on Tumblr and Twitter a lot. With that said, I've been TheUltimaXtreme. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.